A little bit. All praises to our Heavenly Father for His love and His kindness. Close. I give the Most High all the glory and all the honor for His kindness and His mercy towards us. So I wanted to do a program today with my students, and I thought, let me put it online. Let me go live, because I want to teach them about hypertension, high blood pressure. So I wanted to teach them about hypertension, but I wanted to do it from the perspective of Israelites, because these children, they will be using this, whatever they learn, to help people out there, to help our brothers and sisters out there. When you conquer this one, no, yeah. So they will be using whatever they learn to teach or to help our people out there. So I decided to put this online. I decided to come online and come live because I'm going to be teaching them about high blood pressure. So you who will be watching, maybe you will learn something that will also help you. I know some things. I don't know all, but I know enough information about high blood pressure. Look that for me, please. About high blood pressure. So I know enough about high blood pressure. I know enough to that I have used what I learned and what I know to help people who are sick. I've used what I've learned and what I know to cure those who are suffering from high blood pressure. And all praises to our Heavenly Father for that. So I'm just going to focus mainly on teaching these kids, teaching them about high blood pressure. And you who is watching, I pray that Yah's willing that you yourself will learn something. You will learn one thing or another from this. So let's start with a video. I'm going to be using this video, and I would like all of you to pay attention. If you cannot see the TV, try to move this way. Move your chair here. For those of you who cannot see the television, move your chair to this side so you can see the television and pay attention, because I'm going to be asking you questions. What I'm trying to do now is to teach you about high blood pressure, for you to have basic information. So this is going to be basic information, but the reality is that it is still enough information. It's not just basic, but it's still enough for you to be able to help people, to cure those who are suffering from hypertension and things like that. So let's start with this video. So we're going to be learning about hypertension, and later on I'm going to teach you also how to cure hypertension. I'm going to put the word may. So I may be teaching you how to cure hypertension. Right now it's for you to understand it first, for you to understand what hypertension is all about. What is hypertension? I'm teaching you this because also, where is the, okay. So I'm teaching you this because we are going to go into they failed. We are going to be going into the world. We're going to be going into the world, and when we go into the world, today I'm also going to teach you how to use this. I will teach you how to use a high blood pressure monitor. And for those of you who are watching online, I highly recommend this. Highly recommend it. This was about, I bought this on Amazon. I think it was probably on Amazon. This has lasted for almost 2 years now, if not more. I think it's more than 2 years. I bought this, I think, in 2021. I think I bought this in 2021. It's 2024 now, and it's still going. Still going. So this is, I highly recommend this for you to have it. So I will also be teaching you how to use it. I'll be teaching my student, these children here, my student here, I'll be teaching them how to use it. But before we get into practical, I want us to get some knowledge, some understanding as to what high blood pressure is. So I'm going to be focusing on you people, and those of you who are watching online, I'll be focused because I wanted to do this for this kid, for my student. I wanted to teach them this about high blood pressure from a Hebrew perspective, but I thought, let me put it online also. Let me go live. Who knows? It might benefit you, So I'm going to be focusing on them. I think it will be much better if I focus on them instead of focus here. I'll focus on them, and then you can also watch and see what I'm trying to teach them. So what I'm trying to teach you, Himna Chigusunu, today, is about high blood pressure. But first of all, I want you to understand what this high blood pressure is all about. I want you to understand high blood pressure. High blood pressure. What is high blood pressure? And then later on, I'm going to teach you how to use this thing, so you can learn how to use it. And then tomorrow, starting from tomorrow, we are going to be going outside. Yah's willing. We're going to go out into the world, going to people. But we're going to mix it together. So just like we go out to go and do our evangelism, just like we go out to with this thing, so teaching them about who we are. If our people right now, if you come and tell them that, if you come to somebody's house and say that, good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, I'm going around, I'm telling people that we're Israelites, I'm telling people that we have to keep the law. If you do that, our people, many of them will not listen to you. Many of them will not listen to you. As soon as you mention that we are Israelites, they don't want to hear it. You see what happens when we go out, or they start arguing with you. But another way to do it is to go, and I'm going to show you this tomorrow when we go out. I'm going to show you. So you're going to see the difference when we come to somebody's house. Bam, 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 bam. Kende neighbor, who is here? Somebody will come out. You now explain to them. You're going around checking people's BP. That is very important. So I will teach you how to mix. You will still accomplish what you want to accomplish. You will still tell them that we're Israelite. You will still tell them that we're the people of the Most High. You will still tell them that. You will still tell them that we have to keep the commandment. But you first come as you came for health. You came for their health. You present that to them. I came, we're checking BP. Then you tell them how much they have to pay to check the BP. You tell them how much, and then they will either say yes or they will say no, depending on how much. Then when you check their BP, then later on, after that, you can then explain to them, this is this is that. Who you give them a track. Whether they check BP or they don't check BP, you must still give them track. Or else, will put a curse on you. You will be walking around for the rest of your life. You'll be going house to house, checking BP, collecting money. That money will not do you any good. I'm telling you. If you don't put first, if you don't put him first, you're playing games. I'm telling you now, it will not work for you. Because your final ultimate goal is to do the work of That is your goal. There's nothing wrong in checking people's BP. There's everything wrong. There's something wrong with you suspending the work of suspending keeping the commandment. You know you are unclean. The sun is going down in Ikwari. You will not hurry up. Oh, chijibeze ibru bucket bariba konyala. You start running around with bucket of water. You start running around with bucket of water, running around. But you were walking around since you did not take a shower. Some of you may even go as far as not taking shower at all. Who are you deceiving? Who are you mocking? Yourself. But a child that fears the Most High, someone that fears the Most High, when they are unclean, they will make sure that you saw what I was doing when I was unclean. I made sure not to make people unclean. I go to buy fuel. I take their account information. I do a transfer to them. They will put fuel in the car. They will put the fuel in the car. I didn't go out to buy something and give money to somebody. Take the money and give to them. Because I know that will make them unclean. That will make that person unclean. And I just don't have the mind, the heart, and the nerve to be walking around making people unclean. Walking around and just making people unclean. No, I didn't want to do that. I did not want to do that. I just couldn't do it. I just could not do it. I couldn't. I just couldn't do it. I say I'm a lawkeeper. I am unclean. And I'll just be going around. You're seeing your monthly period. You're going around and touching things and sitting in places anyhow. Making people unclean. You say you're a lawkeeper. You lie. You open your mouth and you lie. You do something. Somebody will ask you a question about what you did. You will look at that person in their face and lie like you. You lie. But you're a lawkeeper. These things that I'm teaching will never benefit you. It will not benefit. The Most High will not allow these things to benefit you. If you're a liar, if you tell lies, it is better to tell the truth. Tell the truth. The person who you told the truth to become angry. They are angry, they shout, at the end of the day, they will think, this person told me the truth. Like Onyenka. There was a time Onyenka Meife, she told me the truth. Before all of you came, before every one of you came to this place, she did something and she told me the truth. And because of that truth, that's why I like her. Because she told me the truth. I said, no. Normally, other people, they will send her back. But because I come to Rapia, or another. because all what I mean is and therefore the truth that she told me is not the type of truth that people tell people. This is something big, a big secret. But she told me the truth. She told me the truth, plump and plain. She told me what happened. I did not become angry because I was thinking to my mind. I thought to my mind, this person could have lied to me. They could have lied to me, and I will not know. I will not know if they had lied to me in that particular case. But they told the truth. And because of that, I said, okay. Because they told me the truth, I will let them stay. Those of you who are younger, you lie. You open your mouth and you lie. You say you claim to be a lawkeeper and you lie. There's nothing that I teach you that will benefit you. I've said it before and I will continue to say it. Every time you spend around me, anything you learn from me will not work for you. It will be a waste of time. So if you stay with me for however long you stay with me, at the end of the day, there will not be any benefit. You will not see any benefit. Because you're lying. Because the things I do for you is based on if you keep the commandment. If you keep the commandment. I took you people to the market. I spent, I think, more than 100,000. I bought you Bibles, bought you a bunch of Bibles, bought you your robes for keeping the Sabbath, bought you all those things. Why didn't you think I was doing it? Why? You think I'm stupid? You think my money is coming down from I have a tree that produces money. Those things was being done for you to keep the law, for you to keep the commandment. That is why it's being done for you. So if you don't keep the commandment, you're deceiving yourself. You're fooling yourself if you do not keep the commandment. So I will be teaching you about high blood pressure. I will teach you the basics about high blood pressure. Then I will take you out and take you into the villages and take you into the houses and show you. Before we get to how to cure it, there's a reason why I'm teaching you this one like this now. There's a reason why I'm teaching you this like this. So you learn how to do the test. You learn how to, I would also teach you how to do the testing, how to test people, test for high blood pressure. Okay, so let's get into this. So let's watch this video. I'm going to ask you questions, so I want you to pay attention. Pay close attention to what you're watching.
High blood pressure, or hypertension, is a common condition in which the force of blood on the walls of your arteries is often too high. Arteries are the blood vessels that carry blood away from your heart to supply your tissues with oxygen and nutrients. In your heart, two chambers called ventricles contract with each heartbeat to push blood to your lungs.
Hold on, let me find out why. Let me turn off the Bluetooth. Okay, so let me back up. I want to back up to play the video again. I want you to listen carefully. Listen to carefully what the high blood pressure is. You will not go out there. You're not supposed to go out and you're testing people high blood pressure when you don't know what high blood pressure is. It makes no sense. It makes no sense for you to go out, you're testing people, but you don't know what it is. You have to know what it is, and you have to also know what the numbers mean. Things like that. And you must never go out to test people without tracks. You must have track. You must talk to everywhere and everyone you talk to. You must talk to them about who we are and keeping the commandment. I'm going to initiate you people into a covenant. I'm going to initiate you into a covenant, which we call Obobando in Igbo language. Obobando. I will initiate you into covenant. And part of that covenant is what I've been telling you. If you remove Yah, if you remove the Most High in the things I teach you, and you want to use it, it will not work. That will be the covenant. Our Heavenly Father is a God of covenant. He makes covenant with people. If you include Yah and you serve Yah with all your heart, and you do it with joy, it's sweeting you when you do it, like you see me do. If not because I love serving Yah, you people will not be here. Who are you? You will not be here. You are too small. You're too small, and you're nothing to be around me. You're too small and nothing. There are people who are way bigger than you, better than you, that wants to be around me, and I don't want them to be around me. I refuse for them to come. So you're here for a reason, because of the Most High. So in that way, you can serve the Most High. You must first keep the commandment. So if you are going to help those who are sick, you need to know what you're doing. You need to know what you're saying. You cannot go out and be saying something that you don't know. Sirach 18:19, before you speak, learn. Before you fall ill, take care of your health. That verse is together. Those verses are together. Sirach, before you speak, learn. Before you fall ill, take care of your health. So it's actually, those two verses are related and connected to what we're doing. They are connected. Sirach 18:19. Sirach 18:19. Know what you are talking about before you speak. Give attention to your health before you get sick. So I am here today to teach you to know what you are talking about when it comes to health, and also to help people take care of their health before they get sick. For you to help them to take care of their health before they get sick. So that's my favorite verse, Sirach 18:19. So you have to know what high blood pressure is all about. If you're going to, because most people are dying, a lot of people are dying today from high blood pressure. A lot of people are dying from high blood pressure today. A lot. Hypertension. High blood pressure is hypertension or high BP. It's one disease with three names. Hypertension, high blood pressure, high BP, they are the same thing. High blood pressure, high BP, blood pressure, BP, blood pressure, high BP, high blood pressure, high hypertension. They're the same thing. And it's killing a lot of people. And most people that you see, they have it. Most people that you see have it. Most people, they are suffering from high blood pressure. So we're going to also get into the cause. What causes it? So listen closely. Listen very well, okay?
High blood pressure or hypertension is a common condition in which the force of blood on the walls of your arteries is often too high.
High blood pressure is a common condition of which the blood on your blood vessels is too high. What is a blood vessel? What is blood vessel?
Where your blood flows in. Where your blood flows in.
Where is blood vessel here?
All these veins.
Veins. This is the blood vessel. So notice that the blood vessel come out of the heart. They all come out of the heart. Some go to the head. Some come down from this hand. Some come down from this hand. So you need to know what blood vessel, you must know what high blood pressure is to avoid making a fool of yourself. Because if you go out and you say you want to test somebody, you want to test them, and then maybe you see a grandmother, mother, you say you want to test that woman. Their child or their son might come out and say, who are you? You say, oh, I'm testing. And then they might ask you, what is high blood pressure? You now open your mouth. High blood pressure. I was thinking, no, what is high blood pressure? And you're like, oh, high blood pressure is high blood pressure. It is a high blood pressure. It's a disease. I said, no, I know it's a disease. What is high blood pressure? It's a disease. People suffer from, they will humiliate you. I mean, they might carry, you know how our people behave. They might carry a bucket of water inside their compound. They might even slap you for coming inside that place to come and touch their mother or touch their father when you don't know what you're talking about. I just showed you my favorite Bible verse. Before you speak, learn. So you need to know what you're talking about. When somebody asks you, what is high blood pressure? You should be able to say, high blood pressure is this or high blood pressure is that. High blood pressure is a disease that occurs when the blood pressure is too high on the body. And blood pressure can be too high when blood vessel is blocked. I just gave you that answer now. I just gave you that answer. If you ask me, what is high blood pressure? High blood pressure is when it's a disease, it's a condition that occurs when the blood pressure is too high on the body. And blood pressure can be too high on the body when the blood vessel is blocked and blood can no longer flow. The person might ask me, somebody might ask me, what is it that causes blood not to flow very well in the blood vessel? What is it that causes it? I'm going to show you what causes it. So there's a way you answer the question. The person will just go back. They will step back and they will keep quiet. They will keep quiet. They will not say anything again. Why? Because you know what you're talking about. But if you come into somebody's compound and their grandmother is sitting there, their grandfather is sitting there, and you want to check their blood pressure, blah, blah, blah. Good afternoon. I'm from this. I want to check blood. And then their grandson or their granddaughter might come out and ask you, who are you? You're like, oh, I'm so and so. I'm going around. I'm doing this. I'm checking blood pressure. Okay. Then they will ask you, what is high blood pressure? You start saying nonsense. They might even beat you. They might attack you and throw you out of their compound. And I guarantee you, shame will never allow you to go to that area again. You will never go to that area again. And that will be your fault because you did not learn. There's no way you will watch everything I'm going to show you today and listen to me today and you don't know. You should be able to know what high blood pressure is. You should be able to tell people, this is what high blood pressure is. You should be able to say it. Because you have to know it first. Let it be inside of you. High blood pressure, as you can see, the blood vessels, when the pressure of the blood, when the pressure is too high. And I will show you what we mean by pressure as we go. So you need to understand this thing so that when people ask you, you can answer their question. And normally, when they ask you and you answer their question, they will keep quiet. Why would they keep quiet? Because they respect you. They know that you know what you're talking about. They will just be quiet. They will not say anything again because you gave the right answer. But if you start talking nonsense and start saying rubbish, they will humiliate you and drive you out of their house. Okay. All right. So listen carefully again. Listen carefully again to what high blood pressure is.
High blood pressure, or hypertension, is a common condition in which the force of blood on the walls of your arteries is often too high. Arteries are the blood vessels that carry blood away from your heart to supply your tissues with oxygen and nutrients. In your heart, two chambers called ventricles contract with each heartbeat to push blood to your lungs and through your arteries to your body. As blood flows through them, three main factors affect the pressure on your artery walls. The first is cardiac output, or the amount of blood your ventricles push out of your heart each minute. Your blood pressure goes up as cardiac output increases. The second factor affecting your blood pressure is blood volume, or the total amount of blood in your body. Blood pressure also goes up as blood volume increases. The third factor that affects your blood pressure is resistance, which is anything working against the blood flow through your arteries. Several factors contribute to resistance. One resistance factor is the flow of your artery wall.
Okay, so there are three causes of high blood pressure. Most high blood pressure today are caused by one reason. Blood volume. When there's too much blood in the body. When you have too much blood in the body, that can cause high blood pressure. When there are too much blood in the body, it can cause high blood pressure. Why will somebody have too much blood in their body? When their immune system is not working very well. Immune system is a system that something that the Most High puts in our body that helps us to fend off disease and keeps us healthy. If you're eating chemicals, man-made food, you're drinking soda, Coke, Fanta, malt, beer, wine, sachet food, these chemicals weakens your immune system. And when your immune system is not working properly, you can have too much blood in your body. Because the blood you have inside your body today is not the blood you have in your body when your mother gave birth to you. When your mom gave birth to you, the blood that was in your body 5 years ago is not the same blood in your body today. The blood in your body today is different. The blood in your body today will not be in your body 3 years from now. Because what happened is that your body is making blood. Your body produces blood. And at some point, the old blood will go away. Then you have new blood. Your body is always replacing, changing those blood at the right time. But the way the Most High designed these things, the Most High designed you. The Most High made us in a way that immune system regulates things in our body. And that's why you see, for example, a child will be sick. They will take the child to the hospital. and they will take blood from the mother or the father and put on the child. And then you see, nothing will happen to the father because the body of the father will replace that blood. You may take 1 pint of blood, 1 pint or 2 pints of blood from somebody and put on their child. Their body will replace that 1 pint of blood when the immune system is working very well. You see? So when you start eating chemicals and you're drinking soda, you're eating maggi, you're eating all this chemical food. When you eat all this chemical food and eat this nonsense, your immune system will no longer work very well. Your body will no longer operate very well. And what will happen to you is that the system that regulates your blood, the regulator that regulates blood in your body, will no longer be working very well. So now your body is going to have too much blood. And when there's too much blood in the body, the BP can go high. Your blood pressure can go high. But this is not common. This does not happen all the time. This is not the main reason why people have blood pressure. This one I explained to you now about having your blood volume being high, that's not why people have too much blood pressure. But you can also have high blood pressure if you're eating chemicals and your immune system is weakened. And the regulator, your body can no longer produce the amount of the blood you need. Your body will keep on producing blood, even though you don't need the blood. Your body will keep on producing it. Before you know it, you now have too much blood in your body. That can lead to high blood pressure. But that is not the main reason why. That is not the main reason why people have high blood pressure. No. That's not the main reason why people have high blood pressure. The main reason why people have high blood pressure is resistance. Resistance. This is the one you're going to see a lot. Flexibility of artery wall. Artery is where the blood vessel, that's the artery, the blood vessel, your blood travels inside. Blood travels inside of your blood vessel. Blood travels from the inside. Just like you have this wire. This is a cable. This cable is open inside. This wire is open from the inside. So, the same way you also have blood vessel. And when your blood vessel is blocked from the inside, just like the pipe on the kitchen pipe, that kitchen pipe, if you go to the sink, you carry your plate, there is rice, bones on the plate, you put it inside the sink. Slowly, it will be blocking that sink. There will come a time that water will no longer, you come to the sink, the water will just be there. Water will just be there. Because the sink has been blocked. So, this is the inside of the blood vessel. Inside. So, when the inside of the blood vessel is blocked, blood can no longer flow. I have explained to you the first reason, or one of the 3 reasons why people have high blood pressure. When the blood in the body is too high. The blood in the body can be too high because the regulator that the creator put inside your body is no longer working very well. Because a normal person, somebody who is normal, their body will produce blood, and then once they get enough of what they need, their body will stop. Just like when you are peeing, when you're urinating, you urinate and then you stop. Do you think all the urine in your body is gone? No, there's still urine inside your body. But the ones that are ready to come out have come out. You see? So we have regulators inside our body that the Creator put inside of us. So, but this is not common. It's not all the time that this happens. that people have too much blood in their body and then causes high blood pressure. No, it doesn't happen all the time. The one that happens all the time is the resistant one, the flexibility of the artery wall. When blood can no longer flow easily inside the body, inside your artery, when blood can no longer flow easily, that's the one that is that has most of the problem. But all these things, every single thing that causes high blood pressure has to do with what we eat. It has to do with what we eat. That's every one of them. I've already explained to you the blood volume. When you have too much blood in your body, that can cause high blood pressure. I've also explained to you, I explained what can cause too much blood. Now, let me ask you a question. What can make somebody to have too much blood in their body? What?
When the immune system is not working very
When the immune system is not working very well, what happens at that point?
and then there will be too much blood inside the person's body.
Why will there be too much blood when the immune system is not working very well?
Because the immune system to flush out the old blood.
Because you need the immune system to flush out the old blood. That's not what I explained. Why will there be too much blood in somebody's body? Why? What can cause somebody to have too much blood in their body? You don't know? I just explained it for about 5 minutes or so.
What can cause you to have too much blood in their body is because of the kind of food they eat.
Okay. So if I eat certain kind of food, automatically I will have too much blood in my body.
Yes.
If I eat certain kind of food, that will make me to have too much blood. Okay. Who else wants to answer? I think I explained it. I stood here and I explained to you what can cause somebody to have the blood volume in the body to be too high. What can cause too much blood in the body? And when you have too much blood in the body, that can lead to high blood pressure because the blood is too much. It overwhelms the heart. This is all about the heart. The heart is the pump of your body. The job of the heart is to pump blood. So when you have too much blood that the heart has to pump, it becomes too much for the heart. It becomes way too much for the heart. But I explained to you, I explained it very clearly what can cause someone the blood volume to be too high. The blood in somebody's body can be too high. Someone's body, the blood can be too high. I explained to you why. What can cause it? And I asked you, what is it that causes it? You're not giving me the answer I gave you. You're not explaining what I explained, I just explained to you right now. You are going to go out there. You are going to be checking people's BP. You are going to be telling people about health. And I've told you, you will be humiliated. People will attack you in their compound. If you come into a compound, you see a grandma or a grandpa, and you start talking to them, their grandchild will come out. They will look at you. They will ask you, who are you? You say, oh, I'm going around and I'm checking blood pressure. And then they will say to you, what is high blood pressure? You're going to tell them, high blood pressure is a disease. They will say, no, I know it's a disease. What is high blood pressure? You tell them, well, high blood pressure is you start talking nonsense. They will attack you in that compound. They will attack you. They will humiliate you because you don't know what you're talking about. I showed you Sirach 18:19. My favorite verse. Sirach 18:19 says, before you speak, learn. I am teaching you now for you to know before you speak, for you to know what high blood pressure is. So I explained to you, you can see that there are Various reasons. 3 reasons why somebody can have high blood pressure. 3 reasons. When someone have too much blood in their body, that can cause high blood pressure. Then I explain to you. Let me explain it again. Let me explain it again. The creator of heaven and earth, our heavenly Father, put regulators in our body. We all have regulator. Have you, let me add more information in explaining this. Have you ever been eating, and while you're eating, you get tired of eating? Have you ever eaten and you couldn't finish the food? Have you ever eaten food and you could not finish it? It happens to you, right? Okay. That happens to you. The reason why it happens to you is because there's a regulator in your body. It's not that there's no space in your stomach. It's not that there's no space for food. There's a regulator. If you are normal, if your body is clean, if you're eating right, if your immune system is working very well, that regulator will kick in. That regulator will come on. If you're eating, once your body gets enough of what it needs, you will stop feeling, your appetite for food will go away. Your body, you will no longer desire that food or crave that food because your system is working. Your immune system is working very well. There's a regulator in our body. That regulator is what tells you when to go and pee. In the daytime, in the afternoon like this, you start feeling like you want to urinate. You want to urinate. You want to pee. Why do you want to pee? You want to pee because there's a regulator in your body. Your body, your kidney have processed the pee. Your kidney have processed, flush your body. All the toxins that need to go away. All the toxins that came out of your blood. These toxins are pushed to your bladder. And then they stay in your bladder. But then your brain, your immune system, and your brain will work together to trigger you, to make you want to pee. All of a sudden, now you want to pee. Oh, you start feeling uncomfortable. You want to pee. You want to pee. Oh man, you want to pee. You go outside and you pee. You urinate. You feel good after you pee. Do you know that there are some people, it will start coming out of their body. Some people, it will just start coming out. That is where you see adult, grown people that wear diaper. You have adult diapers. Diaper is what you put on a child. You see, because a baby is still growing up. Their immune system is good. Their immune system is very, very good. But their brain, the brain of a child, is still developing. Their brain have not developed enough to start to synchronize when something is working together. When something comes together and they get together and they are working together. That is synchronization. So a small baby have immune system. The reason why they go to bed at night and they pee on the bed, the reason why a small child will just start shitting on their clothes, just urine will start coming out of them because their brain is still developing. They are not old enough for these things to synchronize. Just like you, when you want to pee, you go and pee. But that baby, at some point, their brain will grow enough that it will synchronize with their body. So you have too much, the blood volume in somebody's body, the blood volume can be high because the immune system is not working the way it's supposed to. When the immune system in our body, when our immune system is not working the way it's supposed to, the blood volume can go too high. The blood in somebody's body can be too high. Why will the blood be too high? Because the regulator, the system, the switch, the regulator that tells your body to stop producing blood is no longer working. Why is it not working? Because the immune system is not good. So when your immune system is weak, that regulator will no longer work very well. So your body will be producing blood and keep on producing blood and keep on making blood and keep on making blood. Get to the point where you have enough blood, but it keeps on making blood because that switch is not working. So why is the regulator not working? Because your immune system is not good. So why is the immune system not good? Why? Because of the chemicals in the food that we eat. Chemical in the water, chemical in the food, tin tomato, Maggi, Coke, Fanta, beer, wine, all these sachet foods, cooking with aluminum pot, all these unnatural things that we eat weakens our immune system. It weakens it. The body will no longer work the way it's supposed to work. So your blood level can become too high because the regulator is not working very well. Why is the regulator not working very well? Because the immune system is not working very well. Why is the immune system not working very well? Because you're eating unnatural food. You are not eating the way the Most High told you you're supposed to eat according to Genesis chapter 129. Genesis 129. Genesis 129. A real child of the Most High is not supposed to eat chemical. Eat food with chemical. Drink man-made drinks. If you're truly a child of God, you should not be drinking man-made drink. You only should be drinking water. You shouldn't be eating like tin tomato. You shouldn't be using all this stuff in package, sachets and all this rubbish that people eat today. Because when you eat these things, it weakens your immune system. And once your immune system is weak, you are in trouble. You are in trouble. Most people's immune system is weak today. Very weak. So blood volume can be high in the body. The blood volume can be high because of a weak immune system. The immune system can be bad because of the chemicals we eat in food. Because we don't eat naturally. And when the blood volume is too high, it becomes overwhelming for the heart. Too much for the heart. Too much blood for the heart to pump. You have high blood pressure. But like as I said, that is not the main reason why people have blood pressure, high blood pressure. That's not the main reason why. The main reason why people have high blood pressure is when the artery is blocked, the blood vessel. When something blocks the blood vessel, something blocks it. The pipe, the blood vessel, the pipe from which the blood travels, that pipe, that blood vessel, the pipe inside your body, the pipe, the blood vessel in the body, that blood vessel, the pipe where the blood travels from, when that pipe is blocked, this is the pipe here on the television that you see here. That's the blood vessel. So when the blood vessel is blocked, blood can no longer travel the way it's supposed to. The person begins to have high blood pressure. That is the main reason why people have high blood pressure today. When the artery is blocked. What is it that blocks the artery? Does anybody know?
Plaque.
Plaque. Something called plaque. Cholesterol plaque. Cholesterol plaque. That is what blocks it. And then it goes back to what you eat. So let's keep going. Listen carefully. Listen carefully. Watch.
Help the arteries expand with each heartbeat to help reduce blood pressure on the wall. Another resistance factor is the diameter of your arteries. Your body is able to increase the diameter of your arteries to lower your blood pressure, or reduce the diameter to raise your blood pressure. A third resistance factor is blood viscosity, or thickness. In your blood, more particles, such as proteins and fat, increase viscosity. If your blood is thicker, your blood pressure goes up as your heart works harder to push it through your arteries.
Blood viscosity. Blood viscosity. Who knows what blood viscosity is? Does anybody know? Blood viscosity. You know what that means? When the blood in your body is too thick. The blood is thick. Thick. You know what thick is, right? Right? You have liquid, water. And then you have like honey. When it comes to thickness, water and honey, are they the same? Honey is thicker than water. Honey is much thicker than water. Again, the Creator, the Most High, designed the body where your blood, your blood is like it's thick enough. It's not too thick, but it's thick enough. Blood is not like water. It's not as soft as water. Blood is a little bit thicker than water. But honey is thicker than blood. So blood is like between water and honey. Blood is thick, but not too thick. So when the blood in the body is too thick, that can cause high blood pressure. Because the heart that pumps the blood has to work too high, much harder now. Because the blood is too thick. The blood is not as soft as the Creator wanted it to be. Again, what is it that can cause blood viscosity? What you eat. When your immune system is weak, as a result of the chemical you eat, stay away from unnatural food. Only eat natural food so that your immune system will be strong. When your immune system is weak, the regulator that regulates the blood in your body will no longer work very well. So your blood will become thick. When the blood is too thick, it becomes too hard for the heart. Too hard. Because the heart have to work harder to pump the blood. Because the blood is too thick. Too thick. Why is the blood too thick? Because the immune system is not working very well. The immune system is weak. Why is the immune system weak? Because you're drinking Coke, you're drinking Fanta, you're eating hamburger, you're eating all this rubbish, you're drinking wine, you're eating man-made food, you're eating canned food, you're eating these things that weakens your immune system. And when your immune system is weakened, the regulator of your blood, the regulatory system that regulates your blood will not work very well. So now your blood will be too thick. Blood viscosity. And when the blood is too thick, it's too hard for the heart. Because the blood is not as soft and as liquidish as the Most High wants it to be. The blood is just too thick. But it all goes back to your immune system, the regulator that regulates these things. Okay, let's keep going.
Your blood pressure can be measured with a device called a sphygmomanometer or blood pressure cuff. When your heart beats, the pressure of blood on the walls.
Okay. Give me that machine behind that thing, under that thing. Give me the, no, at the bottom. It's right under, no, under. All right, thank you. So this right here is, we use this to check your blood pressure. This one is a commercial one. This is the one that you see in doctor's office. This ones is usually they are not at home. You see these ones in doctor's office. So I bought it for commercial purposes, to put it, where the public, where people can use it free. So we're about to get into this, how to check for the blood pressure and stuff like that. That's what we're about to get into. Now I would like you people to pay attention to the area we're going now.
Your arteries is called systolic pressure. When your heart relaxes between beats, pressure on the artery wall is called diastolic pressure.
Okay, I want you to pay attention to this. Very important, because it has to do with this thing. It has to do with checking BP. You have to know what you're talking about. I'm teaching you the basics of high blood pressure. How to check, how to do the test. There's something called diastolic and systolic. As a matter of fact, I will flog you. I will flog you if you don't answer me right. I'm not going to stand here and waste my time. And with you know, I will flog you right now, right here online. I'm online right now. I'm online. I will flog you if I explain these things and you don't, because what I'm about to explain to you right now, it's very important. If you don't know it, don't ever go around and check anybody's BP. After I teach you what I'm about to teach you now, if you don't know it, you should not go and check anybody's BP. There's something called systolic pressure and diastolic pressure. Let it register in your head, because I will flog you if after I teach you all these things right now, and then I ask you a question and you cannot answer me that question, I will flog you. I'm about to teach you about systolic pressure and diastolic pressure. You must know it. If you don't know it, then don't even say anything to anybody about high blood pressure. Don't say anything to anybody about high blood pressure, because you don't know what you're talking about. So I'm about to teach you about high blood pressure, about systolic pressure and diastolic pressure. So let's get into it now. So first, I will give you the information. So if you like, pay attention. If you don't like, don't pay attention. And I'll bring down my cane. I'll bring this down, and we will use this to settle it right now.
When your heart beats, the pressure of blood on the walls of your arteries is called systolic pressure. When your heart relaxes between beats, pressure on the artery wall is called diastolic pressure.
Okay, let me explain it. Let me explain it again. Let's explain it again, because I will ask you about it, and if you answer me nonsense answer, I will flog you right now. Listen carefully. Listen carefully now.
When your heart beats, the pressure of blood on the walls of your arteries is called systolic pressure.
You know that when the heart is beating, do you hear the sound? You hear that sound? Do you know the sound I'm talking about? When your heart, do you know that somebody's heart is making noise? Sometimes when you cover your ear, you can hear your heart. You hear it boom, 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 boom. But it's two sound that you hear. When your heart is beating, it is two sound. Two sound. One of that sound is called systolic pressure. One of that sound is called diastolic pressure. So it's going like this, boom, 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 boom. I think I showed it to you earlier. Let me show it to you again. So this is what I'm talking about. So watch.
In your heart, two chambers called ventricles contract with each heartbeat to push blood to your lungs and through your arteries to your body. To push blood to heart to supply your tissues with oxygen and nutrients. In your heart, two chambers called ventricles contract with each heartbeat to push blood to your lungs and through your arteries to your...
Okay, so there's a pressure within this blood vessel. This is a blood vessel. So the blood is traveling from inside of this place, inside your body. So when your heart is pushing blood, blood is traveling from inside of this, but it expands. It expands as the blood is going. It's expanding as the blood is going. So sometimes when somebody dies, they put a hand on this place by the side, and you can feel it. If somebody is still alive, you will be able to get a pulse from the side. If you put your hand there, put your hand here. So that is how you know if somebody is still alive. Under this place. Under. I don't know if you can see my hand. Put your hand like this. Put it and just wait. You can feel it. Check, you will see. It's moving. It's moving. So if you put your hand here on somebody and it's not moving, that means the person is dead. Once somebody dies, this place will no longer move. So that is how they check. Sometimes firefighters, when they want to confirm that somebody is still alive or dead, they put their hand in that place. If it's no longer moving, the person is dead. So inside of your artery, when your heart is pumping blood, your artery is expanding for the blood to flow. Your artery is expanding. Imagine this pipe. Imagine this wire. I want you to imagine this wire. As the blood is going inside of this wire is like expanding. It's expanding as blood is traveling through. So when you check for blood pressure, there's two types of number that you get. One number is called systolic pressure. The other number is called diastolic pressure. Very, very important. That is the number that people are going to ask you, or that you are going to tell people their number when you check somebody's BP. One of those numbers is called systolic pressure. The other number is called diastolic pressure. So that number, when you check BP, when you check somebody's BP, you will see that number. It is important for you to know what that number means, because you cannot be checking people's BP if you don't know what that number means. That number is from the inside of the artery, how the artery is opening and closing. Okay, that's That will depend on the person's BP. Blood pressure. Blood pressure. When the pressure is too high, dangerous, not good. It's not good at all. When the pressure is too high, it's not good. And I've explained to you the things that can cause somebody's blood pressure to be too high. So right now we're still dealing with that number, systolic pressure and diastolic pressure, what it means. One of those numbers is more important than the other. So let's go into that. Watch carefully again. Just watch closely as we go.
Your body is able to increase the diameter of your arteries to lower your blood pressure, or reduce the diameter to raise your blood pressure. A third resistance factor is blood viscosity, or thickness. In your blood, more particles, such as proteins and fat, increase viscosity. If your blood is thicker, your blood pressure goes up as your heart works harder to push it through your arteries. Your blood pressure can be measured with a device called a sphygmomanometer, or blood pressure cuff.
What do they call that, the thing you use to check your blood pressure? What is the name? Blood pressure cuff. This is a blood pressure cuff, but this one is a professional one. I have different types. This one is the one you see in a doctor's office. You go to doctor's office, it's a professional one, and then this is the cuff. So you put this on your patient's arm, and then you press this. As you press it, the number goes high, goes up as you press it. So it's called blood pressure cuff. This is a manual one. This one is manual, the manual one. They also have digital one. This one is digital. So this one works with number. It works with number. This one is a digital one, automatic one that just goes up and goes up in number. Okay. So this is what you use to check somebody's blood pressure to see if it's high or if it's low. Let's think carefully. You can call it blood pressure cuff, or this name, not everybody can easily pronounce it, so you can just call it blood pressure monitor. Simple. Okay, let's go.
When your heart beats, the pressure of blood on the walls of your arteries is called systolic pressure. When your heart...
So when your blood, when you breathe, the pressure that pushes your artery, the pressure that pushes it. Let me go back again. Listen carefully.
When your heart relaxes between the pressure of blood on the walls of your arteries is called systolic pressure.
So when your blood vessel expands, when your blood vessel expands, it's called systolic pressure. If you look here, you see it. Every blood pressure monitor has it. Systolic up here, diastolic, pulse. Every one of these machines has it. The first one is systolic, second one is diastolic, the third one is pulse. Every one of these machines that you're going to find or buy has it. So when your blood pressure expands, the first time, like when your blood pumps blood, when your heart pumps blood, your inside of your artery is always doing this. It's like a pipe that expands and just goes up and down. So the main one is that pressure. The first pressure, where the vessel expands. That's systolic pressure. When your vessel comes back down, it's called diastolic pressure. So the one that matters is the one that goes like this. When your blood vessel expands, when it expands, this is the blood vessel. It goes up and down, up and down, up and down.
The pressure of blood on the walls of your arteries is called.
So as the blood is traveling inside of your artery, it's expanding. So that expansion is called systolic pressure. And that's the main one. Because if there's a problem with your artery and blood is not traveling the way it's supposed to, what does that mean? The Most High, our Heavenly Father, designed your blood vessel to expand. Your blood vessel, as you can see it expands and blood is flowing on the inside. So as your heart is beating, your blood vessel is expanding. What happens if something happens to your blood vessel and it can no longer expand the way it's supposed to? What do you think will happen to this?
It's no longer working, like you cannot be able to perform instructions.
You can no longer be able to walk well. Okay, let's keep watching.
Systolic pressure. When your heart relaxes between beats, pressure on the artery wall is called diastolic.
So, when your blood vessel expands, each time your heart beats, when the blood vessel expands, it's called systolic pressure. When it collapses, because it expands and collapses, expand, collapse. Like, for example, so imagine that water is coming out of my mouth. Imagine that water is coming out. So each time my mouth opens, water will come out and then close. So what happened? For whatever reason, my mouth can no longer open well. You normally open like this, but now I open like this. Do you think the same amount of water that comes out will come out again? It's not the same amount of water that comes out like this that will come out when it's like this. See? It's not the same amount of water. So whatever pump that is pumping that water out of my body will be having problem. Because if my mouth is no longer opening the way it's supposed to open, the pump that pumps the water out of my body will have problem. And that pump is the heart. That pump is the heart. When the blood vessel is not working the way it's supposed to, when the blood is not flowing in the body the way it's supposed to, the heart is what suffers. The heart is what suffers when blood is not flowing the way it's supposed to. So it's very important for you to understand this systolic pressure and diastolic pressure. Very, very important for you to understand it. You need to understand what it means, systolic pressure and diastolic pressure. So systolic pressure is when your blood vessel expands and then it decreases. It eases. Because in order for blood to be able to flow very well, the Most High designed it that your blood vessel should be able to, blood will be flowing the way it's supposed to. But if there's anything blocking the blood from the blood vessel, it will no longer be flowing the way it's supposed to. And we're getting to a number. We're getting to a number now. So this, when your blood vessel relaxes, when it relaxes, it goes high and then relax. It goes high and then relax. When it relaxes, it's called diastolic pressure when it relaxes. The main important one is that systolic pressure when the blood vessel expands and then relax. Expand, systolic pressure. Relax, diastolic pressure. Expand, systolic pressure. Relax, diastolic pressure. Watch again.
The pressure of blood on the walls of your arteries is called systolic pressure. When your heart relaxes between beats, pressure on the artery wall is called diastolic pressure.
So when the heart when your artery expands, systolic pressure. When your artery relaxes, diastolic pressure. Two of them have numbers associated with them, and one of them is more important than the other. The first one, systolic, is more important. The first one, there's two names. When your artery wall, your blood vessel expands, because as for blood to travel in your blood vessel, it has to be able to expand and decrease. Expand and decrease, like a pipe where the blood travels. It expand and it relax. Expand, relax. But if anything disrupts it, if anything makes it not to expand very well, that thing is going to affect the heart that is pumping the blood. So when it expands, there's a name for it. When it relaxes, there's a name for it. What is that name when it expands?
Systolic pressure.
Eh?
Systolic pressure.
Guinea?
Systolic pressure.
What is that name?
Systolic pressure.
What is the name? You. I'm asking you. Only you. You. What is the name when the blood vessel relaxes?
Diastolic pressure.
Guinea?
Diastolic pressure.
Diastolic pressure is what is called when what happens?
When the blood pressure vessel.
When what? When blood pressure does what? Relax. It's called what? Diastolic pressure. Okay, among these two, which one is more important?
Diastolic pressure.
Guinea?
Diastolic pressure.
What?
Diastolic pressure.
Systolic pressure. Did I say systolic pressure? What is funny? Eh? Did you just laugh now? Did you just laugh? So when there's two names, right? In what I explained to you, there's two names. So when the blood vessel expand, it's called what? I noticed you were not taking note. The others were taking note. You were not taking note inside the paper. What is the point of that book you're holding? Do you know how much I paid for that book? Upon all the books I buy for you people, this one is the most expensive for you to take note. Open it. So you have not written much thing on this thing. Have you written anything inside? Yes. So why aren't you taking note? Why are you not taking note? I specifically bought this notebook, for you to use it to take note. I noticed the others were taking note. You were not taking note. Because if you're taking note, when I mentioned systolic pressure, you should have written it down. When I mentioned diastolic pressure, you should have written it down. But I noticed that they were taking note. You were not taking note. Now I asked you, you can't pronounce it. If you were taking note, you would have looked on that note and see and be able to pronounce it. You're waiting for me to tell you to take note. This is what I will use to tell you to take note. I will use this. I will give you 10 lashes now. This is what I'm going to use to tell you to take note. others were taking note, you're not taking note. I now ask you a question, you're talking nonsense. Isn't that foolishness? You're holding that book in your hand. You have a pen with you. That pen, is it not working? Is that pen not working? The pen is working. And you're holding a huge notebook. You're not taking note. So what is the purpose? Why did I pay for that notebook? Why did I buy that notebook? I bought it for fancy, for you to come out here and just use it and sit down and be watching me. But you can't take note. When blood vessel expand, what is it called? Systolic pressure. When blood vessel relaxes, what is it called? Diastolic pressure. Because there's a number associated with these things. And if you don't understand these things, then like as I said, you have no business talking about high blood pressure. You have no business checking anybody's high blood pressure. If you don't understand these things, you must understand it. You have systolic pressure and you have diastolic pressure. I've explained to you which one is which. And I told you that one of them is more important. And I tried to explain it. As long as you are alive, your heart is beating. And when your heart beats, your blood vessel is expanding and relaxing. Expand, relax. Expand, relax. Expand, relax. Expand, relax. Expand, relax. Expand, relax. As blood is traveling within your blood vessel. And if anything gets in the way, if anything causes blood not to flow very well, it's going to affect your systolic pressure because something is blocking that blood vessel. It will no longer expand the way it's supposed to. Something is getting in the way. And that thing is what we're getting at right now. But we're taking it one after the other, step by step, so you can have a good understanding of how these things work. So you have systolic pressure and diastolic pressure. Okay, let's keep going.
While your blood pressure may change throughout the day, it should normally be less than 120 millimeters of mercury for systolic pressure and less than 80 millimeters of mercury for diastolic pressure.
Okay. When you check somebody's blood pressure, when you put this thing in somebody's arm, to check their blood pressure, as soon as you put it in and press this, you press the button, it's going to, as a matter of fact, let me do it now. Let me do it. So when you put this thing, let me put it on myself. When you put this blood pressure monitor, you can sit down. When you put this blood pressure monitor on somebody, as I'm about to do to myself now, when you put this thing on somebody, you put it in. Usually, you should put it directly on their body. I'm going to teach you about that one. Usually, we should put it directly on their body. And I will also teach you how they're supposed to sit. They're supposed to sit down. They should sit down, and I will show you how they're supposed to sit. So, let me see if I can do that right now. See if I can do that as we go. Okay. So, okay. So, when you put this thing in somebody's arm, you should make sure you don't put it or you should put it directly on their body. Directly on their body. As you can see, my clothes does not go up. So now when I press this number, when I press this machine, when I press this, I'm supposed to sit like this. I'm supposed to sit and sit still. So you don't want the person to be moving around, doing like this, moving around, pressing their phone while you're checking them. They're supposed to be relaxed. And their leg should be like this. Their leg should be on the ground. It's better for them to sit like this. Sit still. And stop talking. Just focus while you test them. Then you press the button. You press this machine. And you can see that the number is changing. As you can see, the number is changing. It's changing. So for me to get an accurate number, let me just sit still. Okay. All right. So you see? What do you see here? What number do you see? What number do you see?
100.
Which one is 100? Which one is 100? Systolic. Which one is diastolic? What number is diastolic? 65. So systolic is 100. Diastolic is 65. Now let's keep what is normal for systolic. If you look on here, what do they say is normal? 120 is normal. And diastolic should be by around 80. So having 100 at my age, having 100, this is perfect. This is good. This is good at this number. And I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at this number that I'm seeing here. Because I try to avoid junk. I try to avoid all this rubbish food. I try to eat natural food. Even when I drink pure water, I'm worried sometimes. But it's not all the time that I drink it. The water I drink is natural water. Borehole water coming straight from the ground. Most of the time, that's what I drink. You know? So anything like all this other junk food, I stay away from those. So blood pressure monitor, the systolic pressure should be 120. Systolic pressure should be 120. That's normal. And diastolic pressure should be 80. So when you're testing people, the systolic pressure should be 120. 120 is normal. And my experience helping sick people, I have found out that those who are usually 120 are healthy. Those who are usually more than 120 are very sick. I checked somebody the other day, his Blood pressure was 190 something, and the person might die any moment. That person can die any moment. Anybody you see with blood pressure of 190 something, if you see that person, when you see them, take a very good look at them, because that might be the last time you will see them. Anybody whose blood pressure is above 180, danger, danger, danger. The person will die any moment. When blood pressure for an older person is below 100, systolic pressure is like 97, 91. That's not good. The person is having low BP. Not good at all. It is not good. But anything from 90 to 120 is perfect. Perfect. From 90 to 120. 90 to 120. And as I titled this video, Israelite Health Education, these are things that I have seen dealing with people, sick people. I remember one woman, whenever you see this woman, she's like she's about to die. Like she was very weak. She was very weak, always weak. She's always weak. And so she came to see me with other people. After I knew what her problem is. I knew what her problem. Do you know how many people I have given warning and did not listen and they died? Do you know how many people I've given warning, or I gave their family member warning? Do you know, like, there's another man that's buried not too far from here. I went to his house. This man came to me with other people, because there's a day that I used to see patients. There's a day that I used to see people, because I don't charge them money. I do it for free. I do it for free. These are all health equipment, like this one. These are health equipment. You might be familiar with this. That's what you see at your doctor's office. In the US, not here. So I do these things for our people for free. So there's a particular day that they come to see me. And that man came. He's in the grave now. He's inside the grave as I'm talking to you. He's dead. He came to see me. Let me explain to you about this number. Because when I check his BP, his BP was about 150 something. 150 something. Later, I went to his house and I sat down with him, and I was trying to tell him the importance of keeping the commandment. I was trying to, if he had listened to me, he would be alive today. If he had listened to me, he would be alive today. His house is not too far from here. I explained to him, tried to explain to him the importance of keeping the commandment. He started telling me that we are under grace. This is grace, grace of God, grace is this, blah, 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 blah. I was very disappointed. I left. It wasn't too long. I traveled back to the US. I think later when I came back some other time, I saw his wife. His wife told me, oh, my husband almost died. He went into coma. He was in coma. He almost died. I was like, okay, I'm going to go and see him. I was kind of like planning to go and see him. And then he died. He died about a year ago. He died on December, I think it was like December 29 or something. He died. It's about to be it'll be 1 year now. It's about to be 1 year. So it's less than a year he was buried. He died. Less than a year now he died. I warned him. His BP was about 150. If he had listened to me, he will still be alive today. He will be keeping the commandment and he will be strong and healthy. His kids are still young. His kids are still young. He's dead. He's dead. So don't think that you're just seeing this thing on TV. This is true. When somebody's BP is more than 120, it's not good. When blood pressure, what is that name again? Let me test you. The first name is what?
Systolic.
What?
Systolic.
Systolic pressure. When systolic pressure is more than 120, it's not good. That person is in danger. Even if it is 121, it is too dangerous. Because if you test somebody's blood pressure and it is 122, they ask you, how is it? You tell them it's good. You're deceiving that person. Because if you test them and it's 122 and you tell them that it's fine, what do you think they're going to do? They will continue to eat the way they used to eat, and then it just keeps going up. It keeps going up. It keeps going up. There was a woman, her BP was I have the pictures here. Her BP was 186. 186. She came, and her husband already has stroke, because high blood pressure is what leads to stroke. High blood pressure leads to stroke. So her husband already has a stroke. So she came with other people to come and see me. As I checked her BP, her BP was way too high, 180 something. This is the woman I'm talking about. I'm talking about this woman right here. Here. Right here. That's the woman I'm talking about. When I check her BP, as you can see, she doesn't look like this anymore. She does no longer look like this. She has lost weight. She lost weight. So as I checked her BP, this thing could not even enter her hand. It was not easy for this blood pressure monitor to enter into her hand. Her BP was 186. So I told her, I warned her and everything. And she took it seriously. She listened to me. And she began to take medicines. And then she lost weight. Her BP went from 186 something to 122. One day she called me on the phone. She said, guess what? I said, what? She said, I checked my BP. It's 122. If this woman did not listen to me, she would have been dead by now. Dead. But after she listened to me, she started taking medicine. I was telling them they have to keep the law. I kept telling them they have to keep the law. You have to keep the law. That was me. This is me. That's me checking her, her sugar level. This is a different test. This one is not about BP. So after her BP was cured, she refused to keep the law. As I'm telling you people. You see, I was telling you something earlier. I was telling you that if you don't keep the law, there's nothing you get from me that will last. Anything you get from me will be useless for you if you do not keep the law. This woman is a very good example of that. Because her BP was cured. I did not charge her any money. I charged her nothing. Her BP was cured. But she refused to keep the law. She works at the bank, at the local bank. She refused to keep the law. Do you know what happened? After her BP was cured, she had kidney problem. She saw me and she told me that she almost died. She said she almost died. She had kidney failure. She owed about ₦1 million, 1 million naira at the hospital. This woman you see here. She told me that she plans to take a loan from her bank, to take a 500,000 naira loan to go and pay the hospital. Her son-in-law has been paying the hospital. She paid about 1 million naira because of her kidney problem. So her BP was cured, but she refused to keep the law. You see, that thing I did for her for free, the Most High made her to pay for it somewhere else, because she refused to keep the law. She refused to keep the commandment. So your BP was cured, but you refused to keep the law. Then she has a kidney problem, and it's not over. It is not over, because you will never have good health if you do not keep the law. You will never have good health if you refuse to keep the law. Never. Deuteronomy chapter 28, 58 to 63. Deuteronomy 28, 58 to 63. The Most High say, if you don't keep the law, He will send you all kinds of disease. Deuteronomy chapter 7, 12 to 15. If you keep the law, Yah will love you. He will bless you. Verse 15, Deuteronomy 7:15, He said He will take disease away from you. He will take sickness away from you. So yes, I help these people for free. I don't charge them money. But if you do not keep the law, just like as I've been telling you, I tell them, you see these things I've been telling you, I told them. I explained the commandments to them. I explained to them that we have to keep the law. And I explained to them, if you do not do these things, you will not get good health. I try to explain to them. You have to keep the law. Otherwise, you're wasting your time. Whatever you get from me will be, the Most High will never bless you. You will never be blessed if you refuse to keep the law. You see this woman, I'm not sure, but she might be dead already now. She might be dead. She might be dead. This woman in particular, that's her son or grandson over there. I remember that when she came, she could barely walk. She was sick. She was very sick. So I teach health. I teach about health. I teach about high blood pressure. I teach about these things. And then I will switch and start teaching the Bible. I will be teaching them, you have to keep the commandment. You need to keep the commandment. You have to keep the commandment. Once I start saying that we have to keep the commandment, this woman will go outside. She can hardly walk. She cannot walk very well, but she will get up. She will go outside, because I'm talking about keeping the law. She'll go and stay outside. After I stop talking about keeping the law, they will help her. I think her son or somebody, or she will come back inside. That's when I realized that there's no point in helping this woman. There's no point in helping this woman. There's no point. Because she's not willing and interested to keep the law. She did not want to keep the law. This one, the same thing. This one, the same thing. None of them are well. They're sick. These people are all sick. These are our people, our brothers and sisters. They are all sick. This one, I explained to her, you have to keep the law. You have to keep the commandment. I try to explain. She'll be telling me, it doesn't matter the day you worship. We choose to worship on Sunday. Every day is a Sabbath day. Blah, 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 blah. She's not serious. She's not serious. And that's her husband. That's her husband. Same thing. You have to keep the law. And these are Christians. These are Christians. These are Christians. I explain to them, you have to keep the law. They don't get it. They don't listen. This one, her diabetes was cured. Her diabetes was cured. This particular one. Her diabetes was cured. But if she refused to keep the law, it's a waste of time. It will not work. That's the one I was telling you when I check her BP. This thing could hardly get into her hand. See how huge her hand is. See how big her arm is. But she lost those weight. She lost it. But she refused to keep the law. And then she had a kidney problem. The Most High is not mocked. The Most High is not playing. You have to keep the commandment. You have to keep the commandment. If you don't keep the commandment, you're deceiving yourselves. You are deceiving yourself. I gave them some herbs. I had to go out to go inside I had to walk around and go get the herb and give it to them. I gave them herb for them to use to, I showed them the herb that they will be using, they should be using. And I gave them this herb. More of them, none of them wanted to keep the law. They don't keep the law. They refuse to keep the law. So if you refuse to keep the law, some of them you see here will not be here in the next 2-3 years. They'll be dead. Because they refuse to keep the commandment. They absolutely refuse to keep the law. I gave them the herb. I gave it to them. So the Most High is not mocked. The Most High is not playing. When you refuse to keep the commandment, you are deceiving yourself. You're playing and deceiving yourself, because the Most High will never allow you to be healthy. The Most High will never allow you to be healthy if you refuse to keep the law. If you refuse to keep the commandment, the Most High will never allow you to be healthy. The Most High himself will take sickness and give you sickness. The Most High himself will make sure that you're sick if you refuse to keep the law. But if you're willing and humble yourself and keep the commandment, then the Most High will bless you. The Most High will give you good health. He will give you good health. And he will bless you with good health if you're willing to keep the commandment. If you're not willing to keep the commandment, you will never be healthy. The Most High will not allow it. I can help you all I want. I can do all that stuff. It's just a waste of time because you refuse to keep the law. And the Most High is not mocked. The Most High is not mocked. What you sow is what you reap. Whatever anybody sows is what they're going to reap. If you sow righteousness, you reap righteousness. You reap blessings from the Most High. If you sow deception, you're playing games, you will also reap deception. The Most High is ready. The Most High is ready to give you what you deserve. The Most High is ready to give you what you deserve. So let's not play a game with our Heavenly Father. Let's not play a game. Let's try to round this up. Let's round it up. What I wanted today is to teach you about testing for high blood pressure. I think that's what I should have had on the picture, on the thumbnail, because I'm dealing with my students here, and I wanted to teach them about how to test for high blood pressure. That's what I wanted to teach my students. So, but we're also dealing with on how to. Is what we dealt with today. So I think I might change the thumbnail. I may change the thumbnail to what causes high blood pressure, and how to test for high blood pressure. These are sick people that come to me. These are people that come to me. They're sick. They come, and as you can see, some of them are outside. Some of them are outside, sitting outside. I'm sure some of them have died. I'm sure there might be 1 or 2 persons who might be dead among them, because our people are very sick. Our people are very, very, very sick. So these are sick people that come. They come, and I try to help them, and also teach them about the Sabbath. As you can see, that's a lunar calendar right here. That's lunar calendar. I try to teach them about the Sabbath, about keeping the Sabbath, keeping the new moon day, keeping the commandment. But our people don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear about keeping the commandment. Most of them don't want to hear it. So anyway, let's get back to our study and round it up. Let's round it up. So I'm teaching you you're learning about how to, about high blood pressure and how to do the test, how to do the high blood pressure test, about systolic pressure and diastolic pressure, how to do the test.
If your systolic pressure frequently stays above 100 for diastolic pressure. If your systolic pressure frequently stays above 140 or your diastolic pressure frequently stays above 90, you have high blood pressure.
Now, I'm going to play this again. I would like you to listen, okay? Listen carefully. I'm going to play this again, and I would like you to listen. And I would like you to listen carefully when I play this again, okay? Listen carefully. Watch. So listen to what they're going to say now, because it's very important for you to know this.
While your blood pressure may change throughout the day, it should normally be less than 120 millimeters of mercury for systolic pressure and less than 80 millimeters of mercury for diastolic pressure. If your systolic pressure frequently stays above 140 or your diastolic pressure frequently stays above 90, you have high blood pressure.
What is frequent? What is frequent? Frequently. Frequent.
Like every time. Every time.
Every time. When something is happening every time, that is frequently. So whenever somebody's high blood pressure is more than 140, whenever somebody's high blood pressure is more than 140, that means the person have high blood pressure. Whenever somebody's diastolic pressure, whenever this diastolic pressure, whenever the diastolic pressure, the first number, whenever it's above 140, anybody whose own is more than 140, that means the person have high blood pressure. That person have hypertension. That person have high BP. If you test somebody or you test yourself and it is above 140, it's not like it's 145 or 142 or 160 or 180, 190. That person have hypertension. That person have high blood pressure. When you check somebody and it is above 140 and more, starting from 140, that person has hypertension, and you must warn them. Let them know that they already have hypertension, that their number is too high. If it's 120 and less, let's say you check somebody and it's like 120, it's like 115 or 110 or 105, you should still warn them to stop eating chemicals. Tell them that their BP should be like around 100. Tell them to stop eating junk food, stop eating chemicals that is making their BP to go high. You still have to warn that person, because if you check somebody and their BP is like 120, they will ask you, how is it? You tell them, oh, it's good. I'm telling you that person will keep on eating junk and drinking junk, eating rubbish, eating chemical, drinking chemical, because you told them that they're fine. So one of the things I want to teach you, I'm teaching you this thing. Don't give people good news. Don't give them good news. Be careful when you give them good news, because they will abuse that good news. I want this thing to register in your head. So don't check somebody's BP. They ask you, how is it? You tell them, oh, it's fine. It's okay, you're good, you're fine. You know that the person is eating junk. You know they're eating junk and they're drinking junk. The only person you should tell the truth and tell the good news is a lawkeeper. A lawkeeper who you know that lawkeeper, you know that lawkeeper is not drinking Coke and Fanta. You know the lawkeeper that they're not eating nonsense food. If you check their BP, it's 120, tell them, yes, it's 120, it's fine. Because you know they're not eating junk. But keep in mind, if your brother or your sister ask you, you check their BP, and their BP is like 115. It's like 115, and you check that, you tell them, they'll ask you, what is the number? You tell them, oh, it's 115. They ask you, how is it? Is it good or bad? Is it good or bad? You tell them, oh, it's good. You're not helping that your brother. You want to kill that your brother. Because do you know what they're going to think? That's your brother. That your brother will now start thinking, oh, my BP is fine. I don't have BP. So they can now begin to eat junk and eat nonsense because you told them that it's fine. So if you check anybody, their BP is 120 or less, tell them that this is your BP. If it's less than 120, don't lie, but use wisdom. Tell them that, ask them, are you drinking Coke? Are you drinking man-made drink? You need to stop. Tell them that they have to stop eating junk. Don't just tell them, BP. Oh, your BP is fine. Your BP is 120. It's fine. Your BP is 115. It's fine. Your BP is 100. It's fine. No. Once you tell that person that it is fine, they will not begin to eat nonsense. So even though their BP is fine, that is what I do. Even though the person's BP is fine, I like to warn them to stop eating garbage, to stop eating nonsense, even though I know that their BP is fine. Because I know how our people think. Once you tell them that their BP is fine, they will now assume that it's fine. They begin to eat all kinds of nonsense. And they might go for 3 years, they will no longer check their BP, because the last time they checked it was fine. So if you check it and it's less than 120, you should tell them, you need to stop eating junk food. You need to stop eating chemicals. You need to stop eating maggi. Tell them things like that. And you need to start keeping the commandment so that God will remove sickness from you. What is the number? Okay, I think I have it here on the screen. When somebody's diastolic pressure is above 140, that means that person have high blood pressure. If it is above 140, if it is 135, I don't like to tell people that, oh, you are fine, it's okay. Because that 135 will later become 140. Our people, they can be foolish. The Most High said that they're foolish. Jeremiah chapter 5 from verse 20. The Most High said that his people are very foolish. So you have to be careful, because if you tell that person that their BP is fine, they will just begin to eat a lot of nonsense, because the last time they checked it is fine. You see? So if you check it and it is like 140, it's like 160, oh, you have to make alarm. You have to warn that person. You have to warn them. If their BP is like 155, 160, I told you somebody's BP was 155. I went to his house. to go and warn that person. You have to make noise. You have to let that person know your BP is not good. Your BP is not good. It's too high. You have to warn them. You are in danger. It is too high. You have to warn that person. If it's like 160, 140, 145. Now imagine if their BP is 180. Imagine somebody's BP is 180. You have to let them know that this is too bad. Your BP is too high. Let them know that they have to do something. They can have heart attack, stroke, hypertension, stroke, heart attack, kidney failure. So if they keep quiet and they do nothing, it can turn into a very big problem if they keep quiet. So it is you who is doing the test. It is for you to warn that person. It is for you to raise the alarm and warn them when you do the test. So we did this study today so that you will be able to know what you are talking about when you talk to people. When you talk to people, when you check them, you need to be able to know what you're talking about. You need to be able to understand how it works and know those numbers and understand those numbers when you talk to somebody.
You have high blood pressure.
When you talk to somebody, you need to be able to know what you're saying and what you're talking about. That is why I'm teaching you these things, for you to understand, understand how it works. I would have loved for us to finish this. You know that I am unclean. I need to go and take a shower before evening. So for some reason, we're having some technical problems here, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to finish up this study because, it just, for some reason, it's just not connecting for some reason. So, but I would like for us to finish up this. Just bear with me. Let me try and see if we can reconnect and finish up this study, because it's a very important study for anybody who wants to learn about high blood pressure. This is a first step, basic information to learn how it works and things like that. So let's get back online. We're going to connect any moment. Okay. All right. So let's try and finish up the information. So now I'm going to ask you questions again as we finish up. But I need to show you. So I need to teach you some more things about high blood pressure.
Sure. 20 millimeters of mercury for systolic. While your blood pressure may change throughout the day, it should normally be less than 120 millimeters of mercury for systolic pressure and less than 80 millimeters of mercury for diastolic pressure.
Now, I want to say something. Wait. I want all of you to listen. Listen carefully, because you're going to hear this thing a lot. People are going to be telling you, when you check somebody's BP, they will say, oh, I've been thinking a lot. I've been thinking too much. Everybody, put your hand in your ear. Put your hand in your ear. Too much thinking does not cause BPO. Our people are very corny. Our people are not good people. They deceive themselves. Too much thinking does not cause high BP. It is the inside of the body, the plaque that block inside of the body, your blood vessel. I guarantee you, I'm telling you, it must happen. You are going to see people, when you check their BP, they will say, oh yeah, I've been thinking too much. Hey, my son is doing this to me. Oh, my family member did this to me. It's because of thinking. No, it is not thinking. The only time that thinking can cause high blood pressure to go, your BP to go high, to be high, The only time that your BP can be high because of thinking is that, let's say you are outside. You're outside like this, and then you saw an accident. Car hit somebody, or motorcycle and a car hit each other. You saw it, boom, your heart will begin to pump. So because you saw something tragic, something that is sudden, your heart will begin to pump. If they check your BP that moment, your BP will be high. But after 5 minutes, 10 minutes, once your heart comes down, your BP will go down. So a lot of the time, people think that BP goes high because of too much thinking. No. Thinking does not cause high blood pressure disease. No. And people will be arguing with you. The reason why they keep saying, oh, it's because of my thinking. I've been thinking too much. Because they don't want to change the things that they're eating. They don't want to. So they say, oh, yeah, I've been thinking. That's why. You check somebody's BP. You tell them, brother, auntie, mama, papa, your BP is not good though. It's too high. They will say, I've been thinking too much. No, it is not thinking. But they know that if they say it's thinking, their BP is high because they have been thinking, then they don't have to change anything. They don't have to change their food. But if they accept the truth that their BP is high because of what they're eating, they don't want to accept that one. Okay, remove your hand from your ear. I just want you to know this, because people are going to tell you, oh, it's thinking. No, don't believe that nonsense. Too much thinking does not cause hypertension. Absolutely not. But people will believe that nonsense.
Systolic pressure frequently stays above 140, or your diastolic pressure frequently stays above 90, you have high blood pressure. Over time, high blood pressure will damage the walls of your arteries. Your artery wall may become weak and form an enlargement called an aneurysm, or the wall may burst and bleed into the surrounding tissue.
So we have blood vessel in the brain. These are blood vessels inside your brain. Blood vessels, artery. Blood travel from, this is the brain, and blood goes from your heart and travels on the brain. So when you have too much cholesterol plaque is what causes high blood pressure because of what you eat. If you're eating unclean food, if you're eating chemicals, drinking chemicals, sachet food, canned this, canned that, canned tomatoes, Maggi, canola oil, soybean oil, these things is what causes the cholesterol plaque to be high in your blood vessel. And once the blood vessels is blocked, blood can no longer flow the way it's supposed to. So what happened is that at some point, the blood vessel can burst. It can burst. Do you know what burst is? What is bursting? It's like when you're pumping ball or you're pumping a tire and there's too much air and then it bursts. Wah! That is burst. A pipe can burst. When a pipe bursts, water will begin to leak. So when the blood vessel in the brain bursts, when it bursts, blood will now spill on the brain. That means that that person has a stroke. There are two types of stroke: hemorrhagic stroke and the ischemic stroke. Later, we are going to study about stroke. I'm going to teach you about stroke. But what you need to know about stroke is that there's something called hemorrhagic stroke, and then you have ischemic stroke, ischemic stroke. So they all have to do with your blood vessel. When your blood vessel breaks, blood will spill on the brain. It's called hemorrhagic stroke. When the blood vessel blocks, when the artery, when cholesterol plaque blocks your artery, the blood can no longer flow. It is called ischemic stroke. So the inside of the artery is now blocked. The blood can no longer flow. It is called ischemic stroke. When your blood vessel breaks, it bursts. When the blood vessel burst open, blood will spill. As you can see here, it is called hemorrhagic stroke. So these things are related. That means that if somebody is having high blood pressure and they keep quiet and they don't do anything, they don't cure that high blood pressure, it can lead to stroke. And once the person has a stroke, half of their body will die. So when they begin to have stroke, their mouth will begin to shift. Their mouth will shift like this. Half of their body will die. There was a woman that had stroke. Her daughter-in-law brought her to me. Her daughter-in-law came with me. They did not know that she was having stroke. Her daughter-in-law brought her. And I looked at her as we were talking. I knew she was beginning to have a stroke because she was having slow speech. Slow speech is like when somebody is talking, they're talking like this. They're no longer talking very well. They can no longer speak very well. They're having slow speech. That is a sign of stroke, or their mouth begin to shift to the side. So normally stroke does not come like that. Normally stroke will hit somebody. It will happen suddenly. Their mouth will shift. Half of their body will die. So half of their body. That's why sometimes you see people on the street walking like this. Because this hand is good, the leg is good, this one is dead, this one is dead. So they can no longer move it. So sometimes you see people on the street, they walk like this. Because half of their body is no longer working. And high blood pressure is what leads to stroke. High blood pressure, when somebody's BP is too high, it leads to stroke. Later, I'm going to teach you more about stroke. We're going to focus on stroke later, Yah's willing. Right now, we're focusing on high BP, but hypertension, high blood pressure, when it's too high, it leads to stroke. And it kills people. It can kill somebody.
Small tears in your artery wall may attract certain substances in your blood, such as cholesterol, fat, and calcium, to form a buildup called a plaque. Blood flow through your artery decreases as the plaque enlarges. Blood cells can stick to the plaque and form.
So this is called cholesterol plaque. Oh my goodness, this fan. What the hell is wrong with you, this fan? So cholesterol plaque is as the result of bad food that we eat. When you eat food that is not natural, unnatural food, Coke, Fanta, malt, soft drink, fried chicken, all this rubbish, all these spices, Maggi, all this nonsense, it builds up inside your blood vessel, inside of the wall of the blood vessel. Oh my goodness. Can you imagine something developing inside of the blood vessel? This is the blood vessel, but the plaque will grow inside where the blood is, and then it begins, as the plaque is growing, it's blocking your blood vessel. So blood will no longer flow the way it's supposed to. The more that the plaque is growing, this cholesterol plaque, the more it grows, the more blood can no longer flow very well. And if the blood can no longer flow very well, it affects the heart. The heart will have to work harder to pump blood, because the blood vessel is not free, because something have developed inside the blood vessel. That thing that developed is called cholesterol plaque. Once this cholesterol plaque develops, blood can no longer go well. So when somebody has high blood pressure, when somebody is hypertensive, When somebody has hypertension, remember hypertension, high BP, high blood pressure, they're the same thing. Normally, I tell them to come. When I tell them to come and stay with me, and I give them 1 month, stay with me for like a month, it's because when they come, they begin to lose weight. So as they begin to lose weight, their blood vessel will open up. So I will give them medicines. I will give them the type of medicine that will make their body to begin to open up. And when you are around me, you're going to eat healthy. So when you are around me, whether you like it or not, you're going to lose weight. When you are around me, naturally you're going to lose weight because of the type of things that I eat. Because I do not tolerate junk food around me like that. You see, my pot is like a stainless steel pot, stainless steel. So people who are around me are automatically have to be healthy. You must be healthy. You must be healthy if you're around me. So the reason why sometimes I ask the person to come is because I know that when they come, the type of things they will be eating around me, the type of food they will eat, and those type of things will make them to begin to lose weight. And as they lose weight, as they lose that weight, their body will begin to open up. The cholesterol plaque inside their body will begin to melt and dissolve. Blood will begin to flow the way it's supposed to flow. And the person's BP will go down. Their blood pressure will go down. The number will no longer be too high. You see? So it's as a result of what we eat. This is the main cause of high blood pressure, cholesterol plaque that develops inside of your blood vessel. That's the main cause, cholesterol plaque. So when you hear me preach, when I go to the street and I preach to the people and I tell them to stop eating crayfish, shrimp, if you notice, I tell them that crayfish is high on cholesterol. Crayfish has too much cholesterol. You see, I tell them that. So we have certain food, junk food that are not healthy that we eat that is high on cholesterol. It is high on cholesterol, and that too much cholesterol like that will cause us to develop something called cholesterol plaque. That is the yellow thing that you see. And as you notice, the more cholesterol plaque that develops inside your artery, the less space the blood has to travel on your blood vessel. The less space you have, blood can no longer travel the way it's supposed to. Blood can no longer travel freely. Blood can no longer travel freely. The more cholesterol plaque that you have. So if you remember, I told you that I want something to register in your head. I told you not to be honest with people when it comes to the result of their BP. What do I mean not to be honest? I'm not saying you should lie. If you check somebody's BP and it is less than 20, if they ask you, how is it? Don't tell them it's bad. No. But you have to use wisdom. Tell them to stop eating junk food. You check somebody's BP. The person's BP is 105 or 110. Start telling them to stop eating junk food. You're not telling them that their BP is bad or no. You know that their BP is good. You know that their BP is good. But what you're trying to do is to make sure that they don't keep on eating junk food. Because you might check somebody's BP. Their BP could be 98. Like my own was 100, right? My own is like perfect. It's perfect. My own was 100, right? But what do you think will happen to me if I start eating junk food? Drinking soda, drinking Coke, Fanta, eating Maggi. What do you think will happen? I will begin to develop cholesterol plaque. The reason why my BP, when I checked it, was 100 is because I don't have cholesterol plaque. Blood is flowing the way it's supposed to. Do you think it's an accident that my BP is 100? You think it's just an accident? Oh no, it's not an accident. The reason why my BP is 100 is because I don't eat junk food. I run away from junk food. Most of the food I eat is not junk food. Even the salt that we are using, I'm not happy. I still want to go to the city and go buy a very good salt. I want to go and look around. I want to go to the relief market and go look for another kind of salt because I'm not comfortable with the type of salt that we're using. So I have to run for my life. My favorite verse, Sirach 18:19. Before you speak, learn. Before you fall ill, take care of your health. That is me. So I'm not going to stand here talking nonsense, telling you rubbish. I'm telling you these things because I know what I'm talking about. And I'm teaching you these things because I also want you to know what you're talking about. I want you to learn and know what you're talking about. I want you to understand health, but to understand it from biblical perspective. Whoever you're going to talk to about health, you must also let them know that they have to keep the law. You must let them know they have to keep the law. You must. So you can't just be running around curing people disease when they refuse to keep the law. Wages of death is death. Wages of sin is death. Wages of sin is death. What is sin biblically? According to the Bible, what is sin? Yeah, wages of breaking the law is death. So I don't want to just be curing people their disease, helping people get cured when they refuse to keep the law. Yeah, you can collect money from them, although me, I do it for free. But I want to train you people to charge money, at least for the test that you do. For the test, you charge money, but you cannot just, everything should not be about money for you, okay? You should also warn them and teach them to keep the law. So the main thing that causes high blood pressure, high BP, hypertension is cholesterol plaque. What causes the body to develop cholesterol plaque? What? Junk food. What is junk food? Unnatural food, wine, Coke, Fanta, malt, beer, Maggi, canned tomato in a can, sachet spices, sachet milk, all this rubbish, canned milk. We shouldn't be drinking milk. Milk is not good. We shouldn't be drinking things like that. So when you start eating unnatural food, which is against Genesis 1:29, Genesis 1:29, the Most High told us the type of food we should eat. And you should know about Genesis 1:29. If you're going to be dealing with health, you should be able to show people Genesis 1:29 and show them this is the type of food that God told us to eat. Genesis chapter 1 verse 29. So when people are eating something that the Most High did not give us to eat, eventually their body will begin to develop cholesterol plaque inside of their artery. Inside of their artery, cholesterol plaque will begin to develop and blood can no longer flow well. Their diastolic pressure can no longer open up the way it's supposed to. The systolic pressure can no longer close the way it's supposed to. So it begin to affect the heart. It begins to affect the heart. The heart can no longer work very well. Next thing you know, the person will have stroke. They will have stroke because cholesterol plaque can also develop in the head. Cholesterol plaque can develop in the blood vessel in the head. And when cholesterol plaque develop inside the blood vessel in the head, if it develop, the blood vessel can either burst open. The person will have something called hemorrhagic stroke. Hemorrhagic stroke. If the blood vessel blocks and blood can no longer flow, the pressure will burst the blood vessel. It is called ischemic stroke. That's why there's two types of stroke. Whenever somebody has a stroke, they have one of two types of stroke: hemorrhagic stroke and ischemic stroke. And it's caused by when you have too much plaque in your blood vessel. Cholesterol plaque is too much. It blocks the blood vessel. That blood can no longer flow very well the way it's supposed to. So you see that the blood vessel will burst. If it happens in the head, that means hemorrhagic stroke. Or the blood vessel will be blocked. Blood can no longer flow. At some point, the person will have something called ischemic stroke. You see? Okay. All right, let's keep going because we are almost done.
Solid lumps, called clots, further reducing or completely blocking your blood flow. Damage to your arteries raises your blood pressure even more by making your heart beat more forcefully. Artery damage and reduced blood flow lead to conditions such as...
So when the blood vessel is blocked, when you have cholesterol plaque blocking the blood vessel, there's something that can develop inside the blood vessel. Blood clot. Blood clot. Blood can no longer flow the way it's supposed to. When blood can no longer flow the way it's supposed to, clot will begin to develop. So because blood is no longer flowing, whenever your blood comes to around the area where you have the cholesterol plaque, if your blood vessel is like this, if your blood vessel is open like this, the area that have cholesterol plaque might be like this. You see? So once blood rush to the place, to that area, the blood will slow down. So now your heart has to pump harder. Your heart has to pump harder to pump those blood out. It affects your heart. It affects the heart, and this is what causes what causes heart attack, or at least stroke. It causes stroke. So what I want to do is that I want to make sure that I round up on this topic. And teach you everything, at least on this section. So just be with me, bear with me. Let me make sure that we round up. I want to make sure that we round up on this information, so in that way we will know that we are done. Just bear with me. So what I'm going to do, I need to get power on this, so just bear with me. I'll be right back. I need to power up the television, so I'll be right back, my brothers and sisters. I'll be right back. Give me like a minute, literally like 1 minute. 1 minute, I'll be back. I need to power up the television so we can round up the teaching. We can round this up and know that we're done with this. I'll be right back. Count it right now. I'll be back in 1 minute or less. And don't talk, okay? Don't make noise. Okay, I am back. I think it's like 1 minute. So I went to get my power bank, so we can power up the television. If you happen to have a power bank that you're not using, I will need it. I will appreciate it, because I use this a lot to power up this television. I'm here in Africa and we have power. Sometimes the power will go out, as you can see. The power just went out. So, and this thing helps a lot. This can go for like almost 2 hours. I can go up to 2 hours with this. So let me connect back the television so that we can finish up the study. Go on. Alright, so I'm really grateful and thankful to our Heavenly Father that I have this power bank. So that's why we use it, because it helps a lot. It helps a lot in finishing up, in doing what we're doing here. Okay. Let's see if we can find. Okay, so, all right, I'm back. My brothers and sisters, let's round it up. Let's finish up our study. Let's finish up our study. Yeah, David. Yeah, you come back. Let's finish. Okay. All right, my brothers and sisters, I want us to round up and finish up. It's very unfortunate that the power went out. The power went out, so we have to finish up the study. So, high blood pressure causes stroke. High blood pressure causes stroke. What causes high blood pressure? What causes high blood pressure? You don't know? You don't know what causes high blood pressure? Oh my goodness. Are you joking? Is this is this a joke? What causes high blood pressure?
It's caused by the food we eat, like cholesterol plaque, when the blood is able to move very well.
Okay. What causes high blood pressure? You.
High blood pressure can be caused when the artery is blocked.
When you always what causes high blood pressure?
And what we eat. And if
Kefina, so in Igbo. Speak in Igbo language. So let's say that maybe speaking English is too hard for you. Tell me what causes high blood pressure in Igbo language. So in Igbo. Uh-huh. So Kefina Mezika, what causes somebody to have too much cholesterol plaque? What causes cholesterol plaque to the body? Diva nilidi kagine.
crayfish, mangi, sachet tomato, spices, sachet.
Uh-huh.
We eat cook.
Yeah, when we eat food, natural. When we eat unnatural food, all this rubbish that we eat, anything that the Most High did not create, anything that man has made, sachet food, sachet tomato, sachet this, tin tomato, Coke, Fanta, bread, even bread, all the chemicals they're putting in the bread, all this nonsense that people are eating today, that is what causes the cholesterol in the body, the cholesterol plaque to develop in the body. Cholesterol plaque will begin to develop inside the artery. The artery, it will begin to develop, and that person will begin to have high blood pressure. And when somebody has high blood pressure, when nothing is done, that person will have a stroke. The person will have a stroke eventually. High blood pressure will eventually lead to stroke because the blood vessel in the head can block. And I explained to you two types of stroke: hemorrhagic stroke and ischemic stroke. When the blood vessel bursts, when you have cholesterol plaque in your brain, blocking the brain, at some point, the pressure, the blood flowing like water inside your blood vessel, inside your brain, your head, that blood vessel, the power, because something is blocking it, the blood vessel can burst open like a pipe that break. Blood will spatter all over the brain. It's called hemorrhagic stroke. And if the blood vessel is blocked and blood can no longer flow, that can also cause stroke, ischemic stroke. And once the person has stroke, they can no longer live a normal life. So high blood pressure can lead to stroke. What leads to high blood pressure? When we eat when the cholesterol plaque in our body is too much in our blood vessel, that can lead to high blood pressure. Blood viscosity can also lead to high blood pressure, but that is not that common. When blood is too thick in the body, when the blood is too thick, that is not very common. So I don't talk to people about that one, So when the blood volume also, when the blood in the body is too much, that can lead to high blood pressure. But I explained to you what can cause blood viscosity. What can cause blood viscosity in the body? What is blood viscosity? Can you feel blood viscosity? You don't know what blood viscosity is. You want to make money from health. You want to make money. You want to go out in the world and make money from health, but you don't want to learn about health. Your brain is blocked. How can you go out? How can you take care of people, but you can't even learn about health? I explain blood viscosity here. I explain what causes blood viscosity. What is blood viscosity? When the blood is too thick. What causes the blood to be too thick? What can make the blood to be too thick in the body?
When the blood, like when your blood cannot easily flow.
When the blood in the body is too thick, what can cause somebody's blood to be too thick? You don't know, but I explained it here. I explained these things here, and yet you don't know. I explained it. I gave you different examples. I gave you example with water and honey. I mentioned honey as an example of when honey is more thicker than water. Blood is not as thick as honey. Blood is thicker than water. I explained to you what can cause blood viscosity, and yet you don't know what can cause blood. You don't even know what I explained. So do I need to stand here and explain it again? That is an insult. You people are insulting me. You're insulting me. I have other things I could be doing. I have other things I'm supposed to do with my time. So I spend my time here for you to sit here. I'll just be talking, and you don't, and then I ask you a question, you don't even know what I'm talking about. What is blood viscosity?
That is when the blood is too thick in the body.
What can cause the blood in the body to be too thick? Are you not part of what we're doing? How can eating junk food cause the blood in the body to be too thick? How? How can it make the blood to be too thick? Sit down. I don't even know if it's necessary for me to keep on explaining. Blood, the main thing that causes high blood pressure, what's even the point in explaining these things? Okay, I have somebody watching here, so I will explain for the sake of the person who is watching, okay? So, blood viscosity is when the blood in the body is too thick. Simple. The next question is, what can cause the blood in the body to be too thick? When the immune system is not working very well. Because the immune system is what helps to regulate the thickness of the blood in the body. So when the immune system, which I mentioned, when the immune system is not working very well, the blood can become too thick. Then the next question is, what can make the immune system not to work very well when we're eating junk food and eating unnatural food? When we eat unnatural food, it can cause our immune system not to work very well. When our immune system does not work very well, the blood regulator in our body will not work very well. So now you either have too much blood in the body, or you have blood being too thick. It goes back to what you eat. Okay, so I talked about stroke. High blood pressure can lead to stroke. I need to go fast because it's getting late and I need to go take a shower before evening.
As a stroke, heart attack,
So, blood, oh my goodness. I really, really want to finish up this thing. I would rather finish up this study right now. It's not necessarily to have a part two. There's no need in having a part two because we're almost done anyway. I'm almost done with this. So just bear with me, my brothers and sisters. I'm really trying to finish it up. But at the same time, I am unclean. I'm unclean and I need to go take a shower. So it's almost time for me to go take that shower. So yeah. But we're having some technical problems here. Yeah, I was willing to pray that this thing will work so we can round it up. So we've seen that high blood pressure can lead to stroke. High blood pressure can lead to stroke. If you keep quiet and you do nothing, it's almost guarantee. It's almost guarantee. If you keep quiet, if you do nothing, if you have high blood pressure and you do nothing, it can lead to stroke if nothing is done. All right. My apologies, my brothers and sisters. We're having some technical problems here. I want to finish up this study so we can move on. And all right, so let's try again. We're almost done. We're almost done. We're having some technical issue. We're almost done. Almost. Okay, so high blood pressure for sure can lead to kidney problems, kidney disease. Sorry. High blood pressure can also lead to heart attack. High blood pressure can lead to heart attack. I think I may have to teach you people a separate lesson on heart attack because when, just like stroke, when the blood vessel in the heart is blocked, that can lead to heart attack. When the heart has to work too much, the heart has to work hard, when the heart has to work hard too much, that can lead to heart attack. So that's why you see that there are about three major problems that somebody can have as a result of high blood pressure. High blood pressure is not something that you have and keep quiet. You don't keep quiet. It must be cured. At a later time, I'm going to give more information on how to cure it and how to cure it naturally. How to cure high blood pressure naturally. I have helped people to cure it naturally, and I help people to do it for free. It can be cured naturally. Hypertension can be cured. So right now we're doing a study. So high blood pressure or high BP, hypertension can lead to kidney damage. This is the kidney. So when the kidney is damaged, it looks almost like this, So if somebody has hypertension, high blood pressure, and they don't treat it, they keep quiet, it can lead to kidney damage. And when somebody's kidney is damaged, that person will have to go into something called dialysis. That person will suffer. We have a brother in our congregation that died of kidney problem in our congregation about maybe 2 years ago or so. About 2 years ago, Brother Micaiah, he died of kidney problem. So high blood pressure, when untreated, high blood pressure can lead to kidney damage, kidney disease, just like heart attack. Because when the blood vessel in the heart is blocked, the person can collapse. They collapse and they die. Just like that. Onyeka Onwenu, that is how she died. Onyeka Onwenu was fine. She was singing. She went to a party where she was singing at a ceremony. She was singing, and then she collapsed. She collapsed and she died. That is how heart attack happens. Stroke, the person's mouth will begin to shake, move to the side. their mouth will move to the side, and they die. So these things are very, very, we have to take it very seriously. Very, very, very seriously. We cannot play with these things. So hypertension can lead to stroke. It can lead to kidney disease, and let's see.
Or kidney disease. In most cases, the cause of high blood pressure or hypertension is unknown. This type of high blood pressure is called primary or essential hypertension.
High blood pressure is well known. What causes it? Bad food, bad drink. Because even when you talk about blood viscosity, when the blood is too thick, or when you talk about blood volume, the blood in the body being too high, they still go back to the immune system. Why is the immune system not, when the immune system is not working very well, the blood will become too thick or too high, too much blood? Because the immune system is not working very well to regulate it. What causes the immune system not to work very well? Bad food. So at the end of the day, however you look at it, it is bad food. And there are three major problems that somebody can have when they have hypertension. When hypertension is left untreated, hypertension, when somebody has hypertension and they keep quiet, it can either lead to stroke. The person will die of stroke or heart attack or kidney problem, kidney failure. So this is a very serious disease that we cannot keep quiet. Very serious disease. Very, very serious disease. So I think we're pretty much done. Now watch.
Treatment for essential hypertension includes lifestyle changes, such as eating a healthy diet.
You hear that? A true, listen carefully, a true treatment, a true and honest treatment for high blood pressure is lifestyle changes. What is lifestyle changes? You change the way you do things. You change the way you eat. There are some people that will give people pills. There are some people that will give them medicine to drink because of hypertension. Have no medicine to cure it with. There's no Western medicine that cure hypertension. There is no one single medicine that cure high BP. The true and honest and good way to treat hypertension is through lifestyle changes. The person will change the way they eat. My BP is 100 because of the way I eat. I eat healthy because I keep the law. You see? So the person when you want to cure somebody their hypertension, when you want to cure somebody their hypertension, or when you want to help somebody, the person must change the way they eat. They must change the way they eat. They cannot be eating the things they were eating before, drinking the things that they drink before, and they think they will be fine. No, they will never be fine. So it is lifestyle changes. Stop eating junk food. No more bread. No more Coke. No more Fanta. No more tin tomato. No more cooking with aluminum pot. The person will have to begin to eat natural food and fast. A lot of fasting. Later, I will teach you how to cure it. How to cure hypertension. The kind of medicine I may teach you. Not that I will. I may. So I may teach you or I may not teach you. It depends on how to cure it. Because I do help people to cure it. So all praises to our Heavenly Father. Does anybody have any question? We have to go. We have to go and take a shower because we are unclean. Because He is unclean. And because of Him being unclean, all of us are unclean. Any questions? Yes.
My question is that you said older people, when their BP is 90 something, is not good. So what kind of sugar people?
When they're what?
You said, you made the difference. You said when an older person BP is 90 something, it's not good.
No, I never said 90 something. I said I think I said less than 80. When the BP is less than 80, that means the person has a low BP. Low BP is not a good thing. It's also bad on its own. That means that the person's immune system is not working very well. So the BP is too low. It could be a chemical that they're eating in their food and things like that. So when BP is less than 80 for an adult, it's not good. A small child like 9 years old, 8 years old, 6 years old, their BP can be 75. 80, 100. If you see a small baby, like a baby that's like 6 years old, 5 years old, 9 years old, and their BP is like 115, it's not good. So for a young person, a small child, anywhere between the less than 15 years old, anybody who is less than 15, their BP is supposed to be around between like 70 and 100. 70 and 100, the person who is less than 15. 70 and 100. If their BP is more than 100 at the age of less than 15, not good. Not good at all. So any adult whose BP is less than 80, 75, 71, that person have low BP. That one is a different problem. That one is not good itself. It's also not good. An adult BP should be from 90 and up. Like 90 to 120 is good. 90 to 120 is good. So okay. Any other question? Right? You have any question? No? All right. So all praises to our Heavenly Father. I give the Most High all the glory and all the honor for His love and His kindness. I'm glad that we finished this. Of course, there will be more studies and more information as we go. I just wanted to share with this, share with my student on how to cure these things. We will deal with the cure. I see what you posted. Yes, we'll deal with the cure, how to cure it and stuff like that. But that will be a different study. We may deal with the study because right now we can't do it today. I'm unclean and I need to go take a shower before evening. So we're going to close. I give the Most High all the glory and all the honor for His love and His kindness towards us. The Most High have been very grateful, very kind and merciful towards us. I'm very grateful to be alive and everything. So all praises to our Heavenly Father. I give the Most High all the glory and all the honor. We're going to go ahead and close, and Yah's willing, we're going to talk later. And if you do have any question, maybe you're having hypertension and you want to know about the cure, as long as you're keeping the commandment, give me a call. Yes, I will give you information, what you can be taking, how to change your life, and what you can be eating and taking, the medicine you're going to take that will help you to cure you of your hypertension. Because if you don't cure it, it might lead to something very dangerous. All praises to our Heavenly Father. I give the Most High all the glory and all the honor. And I do thank you for watching. Yazulin, we're going to see again. All praises to our Heavenly Father. So we'll come back. We'll have more studies on health. I think this Sabbath we might be dealing with health also, this coming Sabbath. So I might even give some information on how to cure hypertension. This coming Sabbath, we might dealing with health. We might be. I'm not 100% sure right now. So all praises to our Heavenly Father. Have a peaceful rest of your days, my brothers and sisters. And Yazulin, I will talk to you soon.